So Ala Esther Levy here, and today on Recognize Your Level of Crazy and Manage It with EQ, we're going to talk about relationships and how you can have an amazing, powerful, and juicy one with your emotional intelligence. And so today I have two extraordinary people with me, and this is in honor of Valentine's Day and the month of February, which we know is the month of love. So how do we have an amazing relationship while juggling so many things and using our emotional intelligence? So let's meet our amazing friends and guests now. Hey. I'm so happy that we're doing this. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that a lot of the community is going to be watching this video and they're going to be like, what's going on here? How did this manifest? And you know, we talked earlier about how the channel is designed to help people raise their emotional intelligence, right? And Rabbi Mark, you speak a lot about that during your services and during your the high holidays and all the things that you do. You're really an advocate for emotional intelligence, and that's why we resonate, okay? And that's why I'm still here after 6 years. So, I just feel called to have you guys be the model for us to be that powerful, impactful relationship that, anyone can really create if they work on their EQ, okay? So before we get going, let's meet you. So tell us more about yourself.
I am Paulina. I have 3 kids, Galia, Ocean, and Hooker, and my husband. And
Oh, yes.
and I have a big family. Well, I feel like I have a lot of family around me. My sister, my mother, Philip, and a lot of friends with TAO. So I love my friends, I love my community, I love my family. So emotional intelligence, I think it helps a lot to have a support around me, and I think I have it.
And you're also the power behind the scenes.
So they say, but I don't know.
Right? And in front. So you're the power behind the man, right? They always say there's a powerful woman behind the man. And so, you are that for us. You are that woman who may not always, you're always in the background, but you're amazing. So we honor you.
Thank you.
She should be in the foreground.
She should. I think we should work on that.
Yeah.
So tell us about you.
Oh, Esther. Firstly, I have to say, to see you in your element as a leader, as a teacher, expressing your soul the way that you are, and resonating with this wisdom, it's wonderful. I'm very proud of you. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so who are you?
So, first, I have to say I'm a husband. My mother taught me that. I should be a husband first. And I'm a father. And I'm a son. And I'm a brother. I'm a spiritual guide and a leader and a teacher, a rabbi, and a friend. And sometimes in that order and sometimes not. And it's a lot of hats.
Well, I will say that my interaction with both of you is very inspiring on so many levels. And I agree with what you're saying, because both of you do have that element of teacher, friend, compadre, mentor, guide. And so there's all these elements to you guys. And it's really inspiring, and it's very, you want to be a part of it. And it feels like it feels like home. I know that you always say, you come once, you feel like, okay, what is this? You come twice, and then you're like, and then the third time you're like, this is home. And so it really does feel like home. So it's really great. So tell us, share about the congregation that you guys are fostering, and what is this legacy that you guys are leaving with this community, TAO? and how that actually plays into emotional intelligence.
Would you like to take this one?
I'm just very lucky that I fell into this family, in Mark's family, because
We're the lucky ones.
I feel
She
that,
says that, but
it
it's we're
opened
the lucky.
a big door for me of what it was community, because I really needed a community. I don't think I felt like that I belonged somewhere until I met Mark, and then I met his family and his community. And something very funny, someone told me when I first came to this country, someone said to me, because I was studying, I'm a musician, but I study a lot other things in order to be able to be a musician. I was studying real estate, and a friend of mine told me, you know, after 3 years of coming into a new country, you're going to find, most people find their community. And I never understood what she said until I fell in Mark's community. I'm like, oh, this is what she said. Community. It's like a fish pond where you feel acquainted and you feel that you belong. And that's what I felt when I met with Mark. And I think that's the legacy that his mother is planted for
Yeah.
people. So a place where you could feel accepted, although you're a little crazy, you know, because most of us are artist people and very creative, and it's hard for us to feel like we belong in a box.
Yes.
And this community does that. It makes you feel like you could be as crazy as you want and still be spiritual and deeply, deeply religious,
Right.
you know? So
Yeah. Well, that's part of why the channel and this community that we're building, you know, online is called Recognize Your Level of Crazy. Because it's all about recognizing your level of crazy and then learning to manage it with this philosophy of emotional intelligence. And so, you know, given you guys are a team in this, right, and we'll get into that in a second, but how do you see having a community helping your emotional intelligence or helping another person's emotional intelligence?
you want to take this one?
Okay. I think that when you are suffering, when you experience pain at whatever level, personal, professional, otherwise, when you take that pain and you bring it to the larger continuum, which is community, it shrinks. And the value of community, there are many aspects to the value of community, but that I feel is the most impactful and also the most practical, in that people who come to services on a Friday night or any program, they're bringing with them everything they've experienced throughout the week, all the confrontations and all the foibles and the pitfalls, and you see, when I look out over the fabric of the congregation, this sounds a little bit ethereal, but I could see people becoming unburdened. You see it. You see the face soften. You see the interest grow. You see the self-preoccupation leave. And there's something magical and dare I say holy that occurs in that moment. And that can't always happen at home alone in prayer. It can. Yet the value of community is it certainly prompts it, and it allows for a diffusion
Right.
of the self
Yes.
into a larger context.
Yes. Earlier we were talking about, you know, how emotional intelligence is all about making decisions, right? It's all about taking personal responsibility about moving your life forward. And so what you're saying about community and how it lightens the burden and how it almost gives you strength, right? Because I know when I came 6 years ago to this community, I was in the time of my life where I really was looking for community, but I wasn't looking for religion. I was looking for love. I was looking for belonging. I was looking for family. and having that conversation with you, and how could I serve the bigger picture, because that gave me strength to move forward through all the stuff I was going through. And so it's so awesome what we're doing here, right, with TAO, and we'll let the viewers know. We'll put the information out there, and we'll put a plug for you guys. Absolutely. So let's talk more about relationships, which is really why we're here. And the purpose today, like I said, was to really get people to take away what can they do to create this, right? What is that magic pill, that's going to do this for them? How can they find it? So let's start with, how do you guys manage your level of crazy? Or how do you recognize it and then manage it? What do you do to do it so that it holds it all, that holds all this together and makes it work?
Answer?
I keep a sense of humor. I try to laugh a lot, and even when
She does.
even when we're having a confrontation.
Is it at you?
Yeah, she's pointing at me and laughing
No,
regularly.
when we disagree on something, or where we're trying to solve a problem, and it seems like we don't agree, I kind of play like boxing with him, because we don't agree, but
Right.
and I'm not gonna make him agree with me, but I just
It disarms me immediately.
100%.
I do.
100%.
She's very good at that.
Yes, I love
She
humor.
does.
So humor is the best.
She's.
humor.
Yes. Okay. And what do you do to recognize your level of crazy and then manage it to make this work?
I do what she does.
Okay.
And what she tells me.
Got it. Okay. Happy life, happy wife, happy life, right?
I think that many of the viewers, some of them, haven't found a fulfilling relationship yet. And I think it's important to speak to how I became open to finding this and to garnering it, because it is a seed. I when I met Paulina, I had no game. I say that a lot. There was not. I didn't have an MO, nor an agenda. I dropped a lot of that, and something about our connection was more real, and
So let me visit that for a second. That part right there where you talk about you dropped something, right? You dropped those things. What was it that you did in order to shift? Because this is a very spiritual channel. Anyone who watches this has to understand that this is not just a physical, mundane type of subject, and I'm not that girl. This is always going to have matters of spirituality. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what happens in the consciousness that allowed for you to create this opening, to manifest this amazing life.
number one is faith. I had faith, and number two, I also made myself available to other. I came to Florida not for myself, not to pursue anything here. I came because my family needed me, and I responded to that need. And so in that, I dropped a lot of who I was in moving here, my identity and all of my all of the accoutrements that that adhered to me, and there was a freedom in that, a freedom from expectation, and also freedom from expectation of other. And many times, when I would enter a relationship, I would come with a suitcase. Forgive the proverbial expression, but the baggage that I brought included most of my expectations. And I'm sure that wasn't easy for relationships and women that I was dating or with before. And something about Paulina, she has a guileless nature, and it inspired within me that same guileless nature. So I dropped my agenda, and mostly I wanted to be patient for her and with her, and in that patience, real love was fostered. So it's not romantic. It's not always terribly sexy.
He needed a lot of patience.
But no, like when you first engage a
Yes.
relationship,
Yes.
people bring
Right.
all of the accompanying fears that
Yes.
that they have amassed from other relationships.
Yes.
And so the first, to people who are looking for relationships, patience is the key. Often when we're on a first date, it's the last thing that we're thinking about is how can I be patient with this person?
Right. So again, it went back to decision.
Sure.
It was a decision that
Yes.
you consciously made to shift.
Yes,
Right?
I certainly hope so.
And so that is really one of the main foundations of emotional intelligence, is to shift, to make that decision to change, to make that decision to move forward in a particular direction. And so that's what you did. You, from what I'm understanding, right?
Yes.
You made a decision to be patient. You made a decision to drop the baggage. You made decisions to do all these different things. That's awesome. Would you say that it's the same thing for you?
Yeah, I think that at one point you decide not to play the victim role, and you decide to consciously choose every time what is the direction of your relationship, that what direction is going to go, or if you're going to take a decision or not, or if you need help from others, or if you decide to speak your truth, or if you decide to communicate more and more what is it that you're expecting from that relationship. Most of the times we don't decide, we don't think we have to communicate our expectations. But one thing that we did as soon as we met was that we wrote on a table, on a piece of paper while we were talking, very spontaneously, our expectations. And mine were very simple. I needed a few things. I needed a family. I needed a house. I said, a house and a family would be pretty good for me. And Mark said, okay, I can do that.
Okay.
And he said, well, how about spirituality? How about nurturing Judaism and all this? So I said, yeah, sure, why not? That's easy.
Nice.
So verbalizing our expectations and writing them in a piece of paper were tangible for us to decide to choose to be in the relationship.
Nice.
And we remember that moment. Like when
That's
she's
awesome.
speaking to it, I remember
Yeah.
the moment,
Yeah.
and that moment is not only stored,
Right.
but it's recalled every time that I look at her,
Nice.
and it reminds me of the original that we say
Right.
the machshava tchila, the first thought
Yeah.
of our relationship.
Yes. And the objective when you get lost, like I know when I get lost in life and I'm like, where am I going again? What's the goal? And it's like that's why I need my whiteboard, so I can always look at my goal and keep on target. So I know what you're saying. The other thing I wanted to mention is when you said you guys wrote down the goals and you were very clear on what you wanted. A part of that is also self-awareness, right? And in emotional intelligence, that is the first most instrumental piece of moving forward, is really knowing oneself, right? I created a goal with a quote, which is, the more I know and understand myself, the more the world will know me too. And that is because the more I became self-aware, I was able to communicate this to the outside world, both physically and spiritually. And when I did that, my whole life shifted. So that's so awesome. So let me ask you guys, we were talking earlier and I wanted you guys to share your silly things. So share some things about each other. The one silly thing that you don't mind sharing with everybody. So you speak about his and you speak about hers.
Mark is a germaphobe. It's like being married to Howard Hughes.
Okay, nice.
So he instead of scratching his face like this, he grabs the
Enough.
tissue and another tissue and another tissue, and then he has to buy more tissues because he needs them for scratching a very teeny little something each.
And not just any
Nice.
tissue. These
No,
are like
it has to be
premium tissues.
organic.
Premium. I know what to get you for the holidays.
Organic.
But it's functional.
Organic,
Forest, something.
Yeah, I noticed you had this.
And he's got a different color. The ones for the car are green. The ones for the bathroom, they're beige. The ones for the
Nice.
office are green. The ones for the living room, they're gray. So they all have a holy order, you know. You cannot mix the red with the white.
You must have something in Virgo. That's amazing.
No,
But that's
I'm just crazy.
You're just at a level of crazy. That's awesome. So you fit right into the channel. That's interesting, you know, because I had noticed your obsession with tissues. And I was like, what's up with this dude and the tissues, you know? But I was like, okay, he's a holy man. What are you going to do, you know? That's awesome.
The Howard Hughes of the new era.
Yeah, exactly. So what about Paulina? What's silly about Paulina?
Nothing. She is perfect. There's nothing wrong
Nice.
or silly or even a myth.
Okay, anyway.
Except.
Yeah.
Oh, it's everything she does is adorable.
Okay.
It really is. Even when it's infuriating, it's adorable.
Means you love, right?
I really
That's
do.
what
I really
love
do
looks like.
love. I love Paulina.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
So what's one silly thing? Come on, spill it. The viewers want to know. The viewers want to know. Spill it.
Oh, there's so many.
Wasn't there something about pajamas or something?
Oh, that's only the beginning.
Share.
No, she's
How
I think
much
it's
time
just
do
your
you have?
no, it's your normal
One thing,
couple
one
stuff.
thing.
It's your normal couple
Okay,
stuff.
so like one thing.
She, you know what it is? I'll tell you something endearing. Is that she loves to snuggle. You know, she loves to to cuddle in the morning, and I'm not a cuddler. I mean, like I'm learning to cuddle, and I'll stay. You know,
You're making decisions
I'll
to
make time. I'll
cuddle.
make cuddling time. But like as soon as I'm up, I'm out. She says, "Mark, where you go? What fire? Where's the fire, Mark?" So I'm gonna get out of bed and let's get things started.
Right.
She loves to snuggle, and the boys, our sons. Not so much my daughter. She's a get out. She stays in bed in her own bed.
Right.
But the boys love to snuggle with us.
Nice.
So it's not so much her, it's that what happens around her. This is a cute little dynamic. They'll come in, like they came in this morning, and one of them is obsessed with Paulina's,
Hair?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So he'll like caress her hair, and the other one gets jealous. And so they want to, they want to sneak in, and they start to they fight over mommy. And while I'm supposed to stay there for the cuddling,
Right.
all this is happening, and they're going outside, and they're coming back in, and they're making each other jealous. And it's sweet, and can I tell you, it's anyone who's lucky enough to be in the intimate circle with Paulina wants to be as close to her as possible. So I know I'm supposed to tell you something that drives me crazy. Ask me later, I'm sure I'll come up with something. But for right now, I'm just very honored to
that
be.
I elf things.
Oh my gosh.
She what?
Elf.
Oh.
Elf things? What is that?
So I think most married couples go through this also. But she will put something that I place somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
In a different place, and then leave the house for me to find it on my own in the morning.
Oh, no.
Regularly.
Oh. So let's talk about the golden question here, as we wrap this up. So what would you say is the ultimate tool and secret, if you could do one secret, right, to help someone now go out there and create this? What would you say is the glue that keeps all this together? Both, yes, emotional intelligence, because it all starts with self. But what is, once you got the self part, right, what is that other ingredient that keeps this flowing and that you can recommend to other people?
I think when everything started going good for me is when I dropped expectation, and I knew myself, and I partnered with God, and I said, okay, it's gonna be you and me. You have to have faith, because for more that we want to prepare ourselves for what's coming, we have to have faith that whatever is coming towards us, or whichever way it is part of the master plan of how our life is going to unfold and what we're going to learn. Really, I don't think that you can prepare to be so lucky. You just have to have faith that God is with you in the relationship. I have faith on my own because I chose to have faith on my own. And I think that part the universe always gratifies. When you become grateful and you say, you know what, I'm grateful, in that gratefulness you attract other people that are vibrating
Right.
the same gratefulness in which another person.
Right.
So
Which is another tool. Which is another tool of EQ. Again, goes back to gratitude, having faith, and again, always going back to the decision. You know what I mean? It's just really deciding. That's awesome. So what about you?
Although our spirituality is progressive, our values are really quite traditional. We stick to the primaries. Commitment is certainly one. Our commitment to each other is unwavering, and we get that. We know that. Also, Paulina used to expect me to anticipate her unexpressed wishes.
Just like a good woman. Come on.
Right. So clearly that myth was debunked, and so she's helped me now by expressing what her wishes are, and I hear them, and I act upon them.
And you choose to do it. Awesome.
Exactly, and truth be told, there's also some spontaneity in that.
Yeah.
Because it's when I choose to do them, and with a certain consistency and how. She said to me, Mark, you should make me feel like I'm the last Coca-Cola in the desert.
Yes.
Right? And in Spanish, it's...
Because you are the last Coca-Cola in the desert for me.
Yeah.
So, but it's always communicating and expressing. By the way, you are my last Coca-Cola in the desert. That's it. It's you.
Right.
So, by always verbalizing where is that you are, the other person also chooses to be there and meet you halfway.
Yeah. That's awesome. One of the things that I was actually, to be honest with you, where I was trying to head with that question is...
We didn't go in the right direction.
No, you didn't, but that's okay. I love you anyway. Is common vision. Like for me, I know that any relationship that really stays the distance and goes the distance, right, is one that has a common goal, has a common vision, and that's something we spoke about earlier. And I know that through the tough times, when you have that common vision, is really the glue. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
Yeah? Or are you just saying that just because I said it?
Yes. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
No, I do believe on the saying, are we an effective team? Because that we saw in a movie that we love.
We don't love
Oblivion.
No. We don't love the movie, but that's that little line. That's our line. It's very sweet. Are you an effective team?
The computer asked the couple, "Are you an effective team?" And they looked at each other. Are we an effective team?
Are we an effective team?
Yes, we're an effective team.
Nice.
So what I admire about other effective teams is that complicity. They are accomplices to one another towards that goal, which is prospering with each other, which is raising their spiritual level, which is creating love and good vibes around it and keeping good friends around.
And it does. It speaks to your vision. The idea of envisioning when the early settlers moved to this country, and I'm sure even before that, people chose a mate, not based on romantic ideals, but is this person going to be able to churn butter, and also plow the fields, and help with the kids, and do what it takes to create a home, and to satisfy and fulfill the vision that they have of family life. And so we revisit that vision regularly.
Yeah, I think that's a big, if I could say, problem in today's world, is that people, number one, don't know who they are or what they want, and therefore they cannot create this bigger vision. And because they can't create the bigger vision, they're not able to attract the partner that they're really seeking. And I think there also is a lot of that fear of, will I be able to sustain this vision? And so I know that, you know, a lot of us go through that. You know, that's why we need the common, you know, we need to see the goals at all times. We need to repeat what you were saying, the expression of what you need, the decision making, right? The gratitude. So, you know, it's all together. It's all one big toolbox, right? So, guys, this has been amazing. I do want to plug the community because you know, it's amazing. It's my home too, and I want to keep it around. You know, it's a selfish thing, I gotta say, but more so for you guys. I want to share and I want to give back to the community. And so share. You know, where can people find you guys? We're gonna also show it on the video. So where can they find you? Is there a website?
Yeah, there's a website, www.taocenter.net. The acronym is Temple Adath Or. And we're also around. We travel. So we're the first and third Friday nights at Art Serve in Fort Lauderdale, which is an art gallery in Fort Lauderdale. We're at the Duncan Center, alternative weekends in Delray. And then we're here where we are right now at River of Grass, UU, in Davie, and we're here the second and fourth Saturday of the month.
Nice.
We also teach, we do Kabbalah courses, we have courses for young adults, we have children's spirituality school, we have a children's youth spirituality group, we have men's and women's spirituality groups. There's a lot going on, so if you consult the calendar, you'll be led in the right direction.
And I wanted to also thank you because, you know, when I came to your congregation, I was mentioning to you, I was in a place where I was finding my new way. And, you know, I was invited to join the orchestra. And it was that helped me find my voice. So I get very emotional. Hence why I'm the emotional quotient queen. So, guys, this has been amazing on so many levels. I want to thank you so much.
Oh, Esther, come here. Oh, I love it.
I hope this is videotaping. All right. So, anyway, let's close up this segment. Sit. We have to finish. So, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this most wonderful and special segment of Recognize Your Level of Crazy and Manage It with EQ. And join us, please subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.